Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to another random match here. And of course, this is episode number 4 today. This is going to be Bayley taking on Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. Essentially, if you don't know already, basically what we're doing is today we're uploading all 6 matches that are going to be on tonight's NXT Takeover Dallas, just to give you a rough idea of exactly what to expect. We've already uploaded Apollo Crews versus Elias Samson. We've done the Revival versus American Alpha for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And we've just uploaded Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin as well. And this is match number 4. After this, we've still got Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And of course, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. And of course, on Sunday, we'll be doing exactly the same, but for all the WrestleMania matches. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna cut this loading screen because they're far too long. The loading screen was a lot shorter than some of the other ones. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the NXT Women's Championship. Good old Lillian Garcia. I really like this arena. I really do. You can, if you go on to the community creations, you can find this arena. You just type in Takeover Dallas, it does come up. It's really good. Here's Asuka. Not wearing any of her entrance attire, which is a little bit of a shame. It's difficult to find some of the attires really, but this is made by one of my favourite core makers. If you're on the PS4, if you type in the phrase Lil Dicky, I think it is Lildicky, the guy has got some absolutely fantastic created wrestlers. Definitely worth a look. This is another one. This was by far the best looking Asuka. Like I say, missing an entrance attire, which is a little bit of a shame, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. And of course, here we go with the current NXT Women's Champion, Bayley, defending her belt. Recently, Bayley and Sasha Banks were awarded the best match of 2015 with their I Am Woman match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And I can imagine that Bayley versus Asuka is going to be just as good at NXT TakeOver Dallas. I personally think that Bayley will drop the championship to Asuka, mainly because I expect Bayley to be promoted to the main roster pretty soon. I just think she's, I think she is very, very sort of marketable, and I think that on the main roster, she is going to be the John Cena of the female division. She is going to earn WWE so much money through merchandise with the younger girls that I think it's going to be stupid for them not to move her up. So I honestly think that NXT TakeOver Dallas, we will see a brand new women's champion in Asuka. But let's see what the game thinks. Let's see what the game thinks. At the moment, the game has not necessarily gone along with what I think in the last few matches, I must admit. And let's see what happens in this one. I absolutely love Asuka. I think she's incredible. She's just so... for me, she's like a female Brock Lesnar for me. She just dominates everyone. Like I said on one of the earlier episodes earlier on today, I didn't have the network for about 6 months. I've just got it back about 3 or 4 days back. So I've been absolutely stockpiling as much NXT as I possibly can. And I recently got to the Women's Battle Royal to become the #1 contender for the Women's Championship. I think it was won by Carmella in the end. But the match started off with Asuka, and everyone in the ring was just staring her down. And Eva Marie got right in her face, and Asuka just basically spun kick her head off. It was amazing. And she is so over. Her English is not super strong, which I think is one of the reasons why she's going to stay in NXT for a little bit longer, just to try and pick up the language a bit more for doing promos and things like that. But I don't think she needs to talk. I think if I tell you what, if she was put alongside Paul Heyman, that'd be incredible. She would just dominate the women's division. One thing that I've noticed recently, and I've mentioned this a few of my random matches the last few days, is that from what I've read, WWE have informed their marketing department to record 2 separate openings to Raw and SmackDown, which really starts to enforce the rumours of there being a possible brand split coming up after WrestleMania, probably to do with the Shane McMahon versus Undertaker feud. And yeah, I think that's quite interesting, because one of the things that was noticed, whereas last time they did the brand split, all the women were on Raw and all the cruiserweights were on SmackDown. But from what I've seen from the entrances, apparently Charlotte and Nikki Bella are heavily featured on the Raw opening videos, whereas Paige and Becky Lynch are heavily featured on the SmackDown. So that makes me think that there's a possibility of there being 2 separate women's divisions as well. And of course, with there's a lot of fantastic women down at NXT. I would imagine if Enzo and Cass come up, then Carmella will join them. I'm thinking Bayley will probably come up after the pay-per-view as well. And with the Divas Revolution they've had over the last year, they've got a lot of women's talent, and split them into 2 individual sets of rosters, I think is going to be a really good way as well of just keeping it fresh once again. I think that's the main reason why I'd like to see a roster split for the men as well, just to try and keep things fresh. And because at the moment it's a bit pointless, because I've not watched SmackDown in years, because SmackDown is just basically Raw, the Raw replay, isn't it really, a lot of the time. Nothing really happens on SmackDown. So I think by having a separate brand of SmackDown with its own separate championship and its own separate stars, I think would really make it legitimate once again. Bayley getting the first pin in today, and that is a 2 count. And I'll tell you what, Bayley's really taking control of this match, and this is a really good Bayley call. Again, as I said, created by Lil Dicky. Well, I don't think it's not created by Lil Dicky, but he always puts it on his hashtags. If you search for that, you'll find some absolutely incredible created wrestlers, including a Zack Sabre Jr. and a Kazuchika Okada ones that I use, that are really, really the top 2 wrestlers that I think I've got in this game. And he's also created a lot of the divas as well. He's got Dana Brooke on there, Alexa Bliss, which is really good, Nia Jax. He's really done a lot of work on NXT as well. But these 2, I've had quite a few Baileys on this game, and this Bayley is by far a top one. Asuka's looking pretty good as well. Referee counting him out. Up to a 3 count. Now, of course, Bayley, if she is counted out, will still keep the championship. So Asuka needs to get her back in the ring, really. Bayley trying to trade strikes with Asuka. Not sure that's the best thing to do, but she does come out on top after that trip. Referee's up to a 5 count, and Bayley slides back in. Asuka's going to take a few extra seconds to clean her head, and then slides back in to join Bayley. And this one starts up once again. Asuka now sending Bayley into that far rope and catches her into the power slam. In for the pin goes Asuka. 1, only a 1 count. I'm really looking forward to this match. I think the NXT Women's Division has just been a step ahead of a lot of things, and the NXT Tag Division as well. Everything in NXT has actually been far in advance of the main roster. I think the women's division on WWE is starting to get there now. It took a while. I don't think the whole Divas Revolution thing was booked as well as it possibly could have been. Splitting them all into trios just didn't seem to work to me. I would have liked to have kept them as they were and feuded them all against each other rather than trying to team them all up. So now they're all going individual ways. Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte at WrestleMania is going to be fantastic. That's one I'm really looking forward to. But this match as well, Asuka and Bayley, I'm convinced that Asuka's going to walk out Women's Championship. And I think what would be interesting to see as well is a potential feud between Asuka and Nia Jax. That's what I'm expecting to see straight after WrestleMania for that championship. And that's really going to be the first time that Asuka is confronted by someone who would be considered as a threat, I suppose. So far, she's wrestled against Emma, she's wrestled against Dana Brooke. Both of them for Asuka have been beatable, really. But someone like Nia Jax, someone of her size, it's going to be a lot more of an interesting match for Asuka. And I think she will probably end up choking Nia Jax out, something like that. Asuka just using that arm drag, doing some damage to the arm as well. You know, he likes to lock in the Asuka lock as a finishing manoeuvre. But Bayley back up with that arm drag of her own. And then Alabama slam by Bayley out of nowhere, now bringing Asuka back up to her feet. Sending her into the corner. What does Bayley have planned now? Boot to the gut, and now just some clubbing blows. What's Bayley going for here? She's going for a Roman Reigns sort of style thing here by the looks of it. Great drop kick to the side of the head. I love that move. I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns, but that drop kick there is one of my favourite moves in WWE. In for the pin goes Bayley. Is this going to be enough to keep Asuka down? Oh God, so close. Asuka kicks out and Bayley's thinking to herself, what does she need to do to keep Asuka down? Asuka's in a different breed to what Bayley's currently had to fight against, I think. Sasha Banks is an incredible wrestler. Nia Jax had some incredible strength, but Asuka, for me, is just an all-round package. Bayley taking Asuka up onto the top rope. I hope she's got the super Bayley to belly. No, she's going to go for a super arm drag. And now Bayley going up to the top rope. Not something we see her go too often. What has she got in the locker from up here? A big diving elbow drop. Right to the heart of Asuka, who stayed down. Bayley brings her back up to her feet, but Asuka must have been playing a little bit of possum. Catches Bayley with her arm drag, and now Asuka. This is when you're in trouble now. Asuka with the strikes. There's the kicks. And the big spinning heel kick to the gut. Asuka bringing Bayley into the middle of the ring. Could she have stolen it here with that striking combination? In for the pin she goes. 1, 2. Oh, and Bayley kicks out on the brink of 3 now as well. Both girls slowly back up to their feet. And it's Bayley who catches Asuka first. Brings her into the middle of the ring, and there's a backdrop, a short one as well. Really dropping Asuka on the top of her shoulders and the back of her head. And Bayley starting to taunt a little bit now, getting a little bit more confident in the situation. Now here she is with some combination moves herself. Some clotheslines. Now Asuka into the corner. Bayley needs to capitalise on damage she's already done, but she's too busy wrestling with shadows. Nice little Easter egg there for you. Bayley, eventually I think she's going to grapple away. There we go, she's finally met Asuka in the corner. Up goes Bayley to the middle rope. And another elbow drop as well, really taking the high flying moves in this one, Bayley. Bringing Asuka back up to her feet. Sends her into the corner. I'll tell you what, Bayley is really dominating this match. Did not expect this. Asuka with that big boot to the face though. Spins Bayley round, and there she is with the Asuka lock. Grapevine in the legs as well. Is it going to be enough? We know that submissions are not generally great on this game. It's a little bit of a shame. And Asuka has to release Bayley. Rolls over, goes in for the pin as she sucked the life out of her though. 1, 2. No, it's only for a 2 count. Asuka can't believe it. Both girls again getting back up to their feet. Slowly but surely. Bayley sending Asuka into the corner. Again taking her up onto the top. Does she have planned here? Another super hip toss. Stomp on the chest of Asuka as well. Bringing her back up to her feet. Oh, look like she's going to go for a Bayley to belly then, but Asuka manages to avoid it, fights free. And here's the strikes again. Back fist. A couple of kicks to the chest. And then the spinning heel kick to the gut. That could be all straight for the pin. Goes Asuka. 1, 2, 3, and she's done it. Asuka picks up the victory against Bayley. And we have a brand new NXT Women's Champion here at NXT TakeOver Dallas. I thought Bayley had this one. Looked like she'd locked Asuka in for the Bayley to belly. And Asuka managed to break free with a couple of punches. And then locked into that combination of strikes, culminating in that big spinning heel kick to the gut, which took Bayley down. We look back at just a few more of the highlights. Bayley hit some very high impact moves in this one, including a couple of big super hip tosses from the middle rope. A backbreaker there on Asuka as well. Bayley still really putting out a good account of herself, maybe come out on the losing side. But like I said, this is what I expect to happen tonight at TakeOver Dallas. I feel that Bayley will lose the match. Asuka will take the championship, and then Bayley will move up onto the main roster. I can't see a rematch come in. I think Bayley will move up to the main roster shortly after WrestleMania. Maybe go straight into a feud against Sasha Banks for the Women's Championship. That's a possibility. Of course, that was one of the best feuds they've done in NXT, women-wise, I think, was Sasha Banks versus Bayley. I was still a bigger fan. I know Sasha Banks and Bayley got all the plaudits, but for me, Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, that was the one for me that I really enjoyed. And here, of course, is the end. 2 big kicks to the chest and that spinning heel kick to the gut. Asuka with a pin, and it was enough to keep Bayley down for the 3 count. There you go. Is that the scene we are going to see tonight on NXT TakeOver Dallas? This is what I'm expecting to see. But you never know. You never know. That is match number 4 of our 6 done today. Of course, coming up to the next hour, we will be uploading Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura's debut. Be sure to check that one out. And of course, if you have enjoyed this one, hit that like button. Really does help me out a lot. Makes the video easier for other people to find, so it gets me more subscribers and obviously grows the channel, which is what I want to do really and ultimately. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe. Like I said, we've got Sami Zayn versus Nakamura coming up pretty soon. After that, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. Then Sunday, we'll have all the WrestleMania matches uploaded as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon for Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura.